This is the Special Force Police Unit. Even the FBI calls for help. The FBI wields some of the most advanced law enforcement tools on Earth. Cutting-edge surveillance, unmatched forensic expertise, and global reach. But even they know when they're outmatched. Gischonta Austria's Eco Cobra. This is the special police unit that took down a hijacker mid-flight at 30,000 feet without a single casualty. Austria's Eco Cobra, short for Einsatzkommando Cobra, isn't just elite, it's surgical. A shadow force born from the chaos of Cold War Europe. Created to neutralize threats before they spiral into disasters, Cobra operates with a secrecy that rivals military intelligence agencies. Their agents are rarely photographed, their missions often classified, and their successes deliberately buried to avoid public spectacle. This isn't the team that arrives when the scene is secure. They drop in before anyone knows there's a threat. In 1996, during a Turkish Airlines flight, an armed hijacker attempted to seize control, threatening every passenger aboard. Eco Cobra officers, who were escorting a prisoner on the flight, reacted with chilling precision. They subdued the hijacker before he could reach the cockpit. No shots fired, no damage, no warning. It wasn't just a victory, it was aviation history. On the ground, Cobra specializes in hostage rescues, counterterrorism, and raids on fortified compounds. Their gear is military-grade, silenced MP-5 submachine guns, ballistic shields, and night vision optics. Their training is relentless, including close-quarters battle, sniper operations, and breaching techniques that can crack a steel door in seconds. Their selection process is brutal, filtering out 90% of applicants. Only the sharpest survive, trained to move as shadows, silent and untraceable. Unlike Germany's GSG-9 or the UK's CTSFO, Austria doesn't flaunt Cobra's achievements for political gain. Their victories are silent, their missions ending before the world knows they began. NATO intelligence respects them as a critical European asset, despite Austria's neutrality. When stakes are sky-high, Eco Cobra strikes without ever being seen, redefining what a police unit can do. 9. Italy's GIS, Gruppo di Intervento Speciale. This is the special force that dismantled an entire mafia stronghold from the inside out, blending military precision with civilian authority. Italy's GIS, part of the Carabinieri, was forged in the crucible of the 1978 Red Brigade's crisis, when terrorists kidnapped and murdered Prime Minister Aldo Moro. Italy needed a unit to combat enemies who wore no uniforms, followed no rules, and hid within layers of organized crime and political chaos. GIS wasn't built to be elite. It was built to be untouchable. Drawn from the Carabinieri's airborne and reconnaissance units, GIS candidates face a selection process that breaks all but the most resilient. Those who survive train in everything from helicopter fast roping to underwater demolitions, hostage negotiation, and long-range sniping. What sets GIS apart is their immersion in live combat zones. While most special police units run simulations, GIS trains in Iraq and Afghanistan alongside NATO forces, kicking down doors in Fallujah, clearing IED-rigged buildings in Mosul, and dismantling insurgent networks in Kandahar. This real-world experience sharpens them for urban warfare back home. GIS protects the Pope, safeguards embassies, and escorts diplomats through assassination-prone neighborhoods. They've arrested mafia bosses in Sicily's fortified compounds, provided counter-sniper overwatch at G8 summits, and conducted undercover surveillance in Rome and Milan. In 2015, when ISIS threatened the Vatican, GIS deployed as ghosts, snipers on rooftops, drones in the sky, and operatives blending into crowds. If you attended a papal mass that year, you were protected by a force you never saw. GIS blurs the line between military and police, vanishing into civilian clothes when needed, striking silently, and disappearing before the media arrives. Italy trains them not just to be elite, but to be invisible guardians who act before orders are even given. 8. France's Raid. This is the unit that faced down terrorists in a blood-soaked concert hall and didn't flinch. France's Raid, recherche, assistance, intervention, dissuasion, isn't built for routine policing. It's built for urban war. On November 13, 2015, When ISIS terrorists turned Paris's Bataclan Theater into a slaughterhouse, RAID became the line between mass death and national survival. Formed in 1985 after a wave of domestic terrorism, RAID reports directly to the French National Police, designed to confront suicide bombers, gunmen with military-grade weapons, and mass hostage crises. Their training is grueling: urban assault, explosives disposal, and psychological profiling to outthink the enemy. That night at the Bataclan, 3 terrorists armed with Kalashnikovs and explosives killed indiscriminately for 3 hours, torturing survivors and preparing a final suicide detonation. RAID, supported by the BRI, breached through blood and smoke, moving room by room, locating gunmen by sound, and returning fire with brutal precision. They eliminated the attackers before the suicide vest could detonate, saving hundreds despite dozens already lost. The world watched on live television as RAID restored hope amid carnage. Since then, RAID has stopped lone wolf attacks, disarmed car bombs in residential areas, and intercepted radicals hours before planned assaults. Their negotiators are world-class. Their snipers can shoot through windows at 300 meters, and their training mirrors real-world attacks from Mumbai to Brussels. RAID agents prepare to die so others don't, operating where fear is thick and time is gone. They're not soldiers or spies. They're elite officers making split-second decisions with global consequences. Hold your breath. The next 3 units will redefine elite. From a British force that stops shooters in London's chaos without a trace to a German unit born from tragedy that rewrote hostage rescue, and a Canadian team that conquers impossible trains, the stakes are about to soar. 7. United Kingdom's SCO-19. This is the unit that can neutralize an active shooter in London's rush-hour traffic without sparking public panic. SCO-19, the Metropolitan Police's Specialist Firearms Command, operates in a nation where most police don't carry guns, making them the exception, and the exception is lethal. In a country with some of the world's strictest gun laws, every firearm discharge is a national event. SCO-19 officers are trained to end threats before the public even knows they exist, often in seconds. SCO-19 officers are more than marksmen. They're investigators, negotiators, tactical drivers, and close-quarters fighters rolled into one. Authorized to fire 1.2 seconds after drawing, they train with live-fire scenarios, VR simulations, and psychological stress drills to act without hesitation. During the 2017 London Bridge attack, 3 terrorists rammed a van into pedestrians and launched a knife rampage in Borough Market. SCO-19 arrived in 8 minutes, neutralizing all 3 attackers, wearing what appeared to be suicide vests, in 8 seconds. No stray bullets, no civilian casualties in the crossfire. They've stopped machete-wielding attackers in Parliament Square and intercepted suspected terrorists near Heathrow. Each operation over in moments, leaving the public unaware until body cam footage revealed the chaos they faced. Operating in unmarked BMWs and Range Rovers, SCO-19 scans London's 9 million residents with real-time intelligence. Many officers come from military backgrounds, others from the Met's elite, but all face the same pressure: protect a global city with zero room for error. Their motto isn't public, but their precision speaks volumes. Speed, control, and silence in the face of chaos. Germany's GSG-9. Born from the 1972 Munich Olympic massacre, where Palestinian terrorists killed 11 Israeli athletes, Germany's GSG-9 is a paramilitary police force designed to ensure such a tragedy never repeats. The Munich failure exposed West Germany's unpreparedness for modern terrorism, prompting the creation of GSG-9, a unit that's not just police but a psychological weapon. Selected from the Bundespolizei's toughest ranks, GSG-9 operatives vanish into a world of extreme secrecy. Their training includes live-fire drills, hostage extractions, helicopter insertions, underwater demolitions, and sniper tactics. Their intelligence operations blur military reconnaissance with deep cover policing. With over 1,800 operations and a near 100% success rate in hostage situations, GSG-9 doesn't miss. Their most famous mission, Operation Fire Magic in 1977, saw them parachute into Mogadishu, Somalia, to storm a hijacked Lufthansa plane. They killed all 4 terrorists, rescued 86 passengers, and lost no hostages, stunning the world. GSG-9 has since operated in the Balkans and Afghanistan, targeting kidnappers, smugglers, and terrorists. Their headquarters is classified, their identities hidden, their mission clear: prevent chaos before it begins. They've influenced every European special police unit, but none match their silent efficiency. GSG-9 doesn't manage crises, it eliminates them. 5. Canada's ERT, Emergency Response Team. This is the unit that can rappel into a high-rise, breach a frozen cabin, and neutralize a threat before most forces could even mobilize. Canada's ERT isn't a typical SWAT team. It's a tactical force built for a country spanning 6 time zones, from Arctic tundra to urban sprawl. Operating in environments from Toronto's skyscrapers to snowbound outposts, ERT is adaptable to extremes. Their training is unmatched. Urban assaults, wilderness survival, advanced marksmanship, negotiation under fire, and sub-zero endurance runs. In one mission, ERT was airlifted to a Yukon cabin where an armed fugitive held hostages. With no intel, waist-deep snow, and patchy communications, they secured the perimeter, breached silently, and rescued all hostages without firing a shot within 6 hours. The mission didn't make headlines because that's how ERT operates: quietly, permanently. Working with CSIS, Canada's intelligence service, ERT uses AI-assisted threat modeling, drone feeds, and heat mapping goggles to anticipate dangers. Their gear includes ballistic shields with live feeds, real-time translation tools, and armor built for freezing temperatures. Known for de-escalation, ERT negotiates when possible, but strikes surgically when needed, solving problems before they escalate. Get ready. The next trio will push the limits further. An Israeli unit that hunts terror before it strikes, an Australian force that vanishes after neutralizing global threats, and a British team so precise even MI5 takes notes. These are the forces that redefine impossible. 4. Israel's Yamam. There are elite units, and then there's Yamam, Israel's counter-terror force that doesn't just react to terror, it hunts it. Born after the 1974 Ma'alat massacre, where Palestinian terrorists killed 25 hostages, mostly children, Yamam is neither military nor conventional police. It's a deadly hybrid. Operating in a nation surrounded by threats, with tunnels under neighborhoods and cities that can become battlegrounds, Yamam specializes in preemptive strikes. Working with Shin Bet, Israel's internal security service, Yamam uses real-time drone surveillance, cyber intercepts, and facial recognition to pinpoint targets. In one West Bank mission, they tracked a suicide bombing cell planning an attack within 24 hours. Instead of locking down the city, Yamam breached their hideout, neutralized 3 terrorists, and recovered a nail-packed C4 vest, all before the explosives were armed. The world never heard of the attack because it never happened. Yamam trains for urban combat, tunnel warfare, and desert raids. Their snipers can neutralize a bomber without triggering the device. Their breachers clear Gaza's tunnels silently, and their assault teams move faster than most military units. With an 18-month training cycle and no personnel rotation, Yamam's lifers anticipate each other's moves instinctively. Global forces study their tactics, but few can survive them. Yamam doesn't wait for violence, it strikes in the shadows first. 3. Australia's Tactical Assault Group, TAG East and West. Australia's TAG East and West are twin counterterrorism units so precise they've modeled themselves after the British SAS and US Navy SEALs, then push beyond. Born after the 1978 Sydney Hilton bombing, TAG was created to respond to threats anywhere in Australia's vast landscape. Based in Holsworthy, East, and Perth, West, they cover the continent, ready for hostage scenarios, hijackings, or biological attacks. Trained by SASR, SAS, and SEALs, TAG switches seamlessly between military warfare and law enforcement tactics. They mobilize in under 6 minutes, going dark to remain untraceable. In a Melbourne high-rise simulation, TAG rappelled from helicopters, breached the rooftop, and cleared 18 floors in 11 minutes, neutralizing threats non-lethally. In a multinational naval exercise, they infiltrated a hijacked ship, rescuing hostages and stunning foreign counterparts. TAG's blackout protocols ensure silence. their operations leaving only a resolved threat. Australia's geography demands versatility, and TAG delivers, shaping global doctrine with their ability to vanish, strike, and disappear before the world notices. Point 2. United Kingdom's CTSFO counterterrorist specialist firearms officers. In London, one of the world's most surveilled cities, the CTSFO is the elite force even MI5 relies on. Born from the 2011 London riots and jihadist attacks like the 7/7 bombings, CTSFOs aren't traditional SWAT. They're a prevention machine built for urban terror. Trained like special ops but operating in civilian chaos, they neutralize threats in malls, subways, or concerts without harming bystanders. Their training uses live rounds and mock-ups of London's underground, buses, and Heathrow terminals. During the 2017 London Bridge attack, CTSFOs responded in 8 minutes, neutralizing 3 knife-wielding terrorists in 8 seconds, despite fake suicide vests. No civilian casualties, no stray bullets, just surgical precision in a crowded metro zone. Equipped with SIG MCX carbines, Glock 17s, and real-time comms, CTSFOs combine snipers, breachers, and assault teams. They train with MI5, the British Army, and the FBI's HRT, influencing global tactics with their live-fire urban simulations. Intelligence drives their positioning, readiness drives their speed, and speed ends the threat before cameras catch up. In a city where every mistake is global news, CTSFOs don't blink. Brace for the finale. The ultimate force is coming. A team so elite, it's the FBI's gold standard, built from tragedy to face the impossible, striking with precision no other unit can match. The climax of elite policing is here. 1. USA's FBI Hostage Rescue Team, HRT. This is the force even the FBI's own elite turn to when all else fails. The FBI's Hostage Rescue Team, HRT, isn't just a SWAT team, it's America's domestic Delta Force, built to surpass even the toughest military units on U.S. soil. Born from the 1982 Miami shootout, where 2 FBI agents died in a chaotic battle with bank robbers, HRT was created to give the Bureau tactical teeth for high-stakes threats. Based at Quantico, Virginia, HRT trains in a legendary facility with mock cityscapes, airplane fuselages, and subway tunnels designed for real-world chaos. They use live ammunition, navigating shoot houses with moving targets, booby traps, and panicked civilians. Their selection process is brutal. Candidates, often SEALs, Green Berets, or Rangers, face weeks of psychological profiling, stress tests, and physical punishment. Many wash out because HRT demands flawless judgment under pressure. HRT played pivotal roles in the 1993 Waco siege, coordinating with ATF to balance tactical engagement and hostage preservation, and in the 2002 DC sniper case, ending a weeks-long terror spree. In 2013, during the Boston Marathon bombing, HRT handled high-value extractions and urban containment behind the scenes. Though domestic, they've operated overseas under classified protocols, training with Yamam, GSG-9, and the SAS as equals. Their no civilian casualty mandate sets them apart, backed by AI threat mapping, drone swarms, and augmented reality rehearsals. HRT integrates with FBI surveillance planes and undercover operatives, profiling threats before they emerge. They don't just respond, they orchestrate the battlefield, striking with clinical efficiency. When local SWAT falters, when military response is too slow, HRT is the final call. Their motto, Servare Vitas, to save lives, is cold, but their results are unmatched. This is the gold standard, not just in the US, but globally. While others train for war, HRT trains for the impossible, delivering precision no other unit can touch. When the world's most dangerous moments arrive, HRT is already there, turning chaos into silence.